This week on the YouTube channel, we're going to be having a look at SuperYank Comics Collection number 2, numbers 11 to 19. Issue number 11 to 19. These were published in 1950 to 1952, and this is a part of Frew's Legacy series. We've already had a look at collection number 1, and let's have a look at this book. As I said in the video for collection number 1, this is a very, very high quality book. And if you're one of those people that are on the bench and saying, I don't really know if Brad is actually talking about what he's actually talking about on the ads, and I don't really know why, if I should actually buy the SuperYank Comics Collection 1 and 2, well, I'm watching this video right now and I can see that it's pretty high quality. So yeah, maybe I'll go and get it. So yeah, up to you. But this book to me is really, really good. It's really, really nice. Obviously, sometimes you can obviously something gets advertised and obviously promoted by someone like me, but I don't actually get paid for it because I just want to make sure that people know about them and they are actually sold on Frew's website. Sometimes when you buy something or you see something online, you don't actually think, oh, that actually doesn't look like what it actually looks like. But when you receive it, it's actually better than what it actually looks like up on the website. And sometimes that is the case. Sometimes you don't know before you actually buy it, but this book is really, really high quality. I will say that right now. It's really, really good. I enjoyed when I read this last year. Obviously, it's taken me a while for me to get this comic book review together and to record them because, sometimes when, I'm a little bit too busy, I don't really want to do it. I'll just leave it for another day, and then eventually we get to it. So, but as I said, yeah, it's a really, really high quality book. It's sort of the binding quality is sort of similar to, I would say, the Homer's publishing books, but Homer's books are for me a step above everything else. They are mint. They are mint. So we've got issue number 11, and it has Catman and Kit, the Frogman and Catman versus Cat Crook. And then we got the Phantom, the Movie Stars Part 1 that goes for 4 parts up until issue number 14. In 12, we've got Catman and Kit's Timber and the Return of the Rat. We've got the Movie Stars Part 2 and the Phantom. In issue number 13, we've got Mr. No Face in the Catman and the Kit story. We've got Movie Stars Part 3, The Phantom. That's the story for that one. And then we've got, in issue number 14, we've got Queen's Crown and Menace in the Mountains. And Part 4 of the Movie Stars for The Phantom in issue 14. We've got issue 15 with The Mysterious Passenger as the Phantom story. And then The Runaway Robot as Catman and Kit. And then we got issue 16 with Saboteurs and Catman and Kit. We've got The Ray that went wrong. Then we got the Marshall Sisters Part 2 in the Phantom issue number 17 of SuperYank Comics. And for the Catman and Kit story, we've got Crime Wave in Chief City. And then issue 18, we've got the Phantom Trophy Part 1, and that continues on into issue 19 and Part 2 with Planet Man in issue 19. Issue 18 also has Rat and the Cat Crook. Rat and the Cat Crook. Wow, that's a tongue teaser and a half. Okay, we've got number 11 here right now. Catman and Cook. What the hell? Catman and Kit, Brad, not Cook. It's been a long day. Catman and Kit. Okay, we've got the Frogman. The Frogman has been stealing some pearls, it looks like. He's getting away from a lot of people, and Catman is on the case. Catman is really just trying to get him, and he throws him in jail. And then we have Catman and Kit, the Cat Crook. This is the Cat Crook. This guy is really, really sneaky. So this Cat Crook is stealing from banks. He's stealing everything, really. And we have what we see is a bowl of honey, because that's what cats are. They love their milk. And then we have Well, someone gets stumped in the face and he goes to jail. Well, we have the Phantom, and it's Gary Ritter. It's the movie stars. Okay, we all know what happens in the movie stars, so I'm gonna say that two bandits, they kidnapped some movie stars that a movie's getting made in Bengala. The Phantom then has to go after them and try and save them. Then we got Catman and Kit in number 11, number 12 actually. We got Catman and Kit. Catman and Kit! We got some people, they're wanting to do some bad things. They got some logs happening and then trying to get Catman out of the picture. And eventually they go to jail. Catman and Kit, we've got the return of the rat on page number 34. So the rat returns, he's up to no good, he's deceiving a lot of people, he's getting a lot of different things from a lot of different places, and eventually he's caught and sent to jail. Wow. If he just could put his own intelligence to something that wasn't back to jail, we would be somewhere. He would probably be somewhere. So we're back to the story where we have the movie stars. The movie stars have obviously been kidnapped. The male lead, well, he finds himself and he ends up making sure that he can protect Carrie. And that's the end of that one. And then we've got number 13. So the Catman and the Kit is a robbery and he's called No Face. He keeps no-facing and he keeps stealing. He keeps burgling, he keeps robbing, and he can still get away from Catman. And then eventually they get Catman. A plastic mask with attached the disguise of Mr. No-Face. That's right, there's Mr. No-Face, your boss, Bash Black. And he's screwed over his gang. And then we've got the Phantom in the movie stars. There's these cannibals. They're wanting to take some human meat, and they end up surviving. And they go back and they finish the movie, and they do a theater reproduction of the movie. They are rescued by the Phantom. Okay, we've got number 14 in Catman and Kit. We have got... Sorry to interrupt, but what you are doing isn't in the act. There's this act, and the crown jewels are in the act. Someone pulls and puts down a lever through the boards. Someone was about to get murdered, and so the crown jewels is disappeared. And Catman finds the person. He smacks him in the mouth, and the crown jewels is caught, and the crown jewels is saved. And saved goes the highest bidder. Catman and Kit again. He goes to an old house. That house is filled with gas. It's a bit foggy. And the guy who ended up wanting to try and chop Catman down to size ends up not delivering the information, and my information will be delivered in the cause of world peace. And to end it all happily, here comes the stretcher party. And that guy most likely falls off a cliff. So we end up in the movie stars again. The movie stars are still trying to get kidnapped. They are being rescued by the Phantom. The Phantom helps them and ends up saving them. The bad people end up going to jail. Then we have number 15. In number 15, we have the Phantom. At the highest bidder, we go for 101, 102, then we got 110, 120, and the highest bidder is 123. No, it's not the highest bidder, it is the Phantom. We're on page number 3, about to be page number 4 and 5, and the Phantom is going onto a ship. He ends up punching some people in the face, and he's going to deal out some justice. He goes through a window as a classic Phantom pose. Have a look at that Phantom pose. Do you all know I come from out of the window, out of that side, and I bring money. And the person who did this goes, who would have guessed, goes to jail. Okay, I've actually got to read this. Okay, another thrilling Phantom adventure in next month's Catman comic. Don't miss it. So we have a robot. He's off on his own adventure. He's stealing jewels. He's stealing money. He's been no match for the Catman. The Catman deals out justice and ends up taking out the robot. Number 16 of SuperYank Comics. The Phantom is on a train, running on page number 125. It's actually quite nice seeing this kind of artwork, and he ends up escaping, and that is the end. We have Catman and Kit. We have a guy that is super strong, super radiant, and he has a laser beam. That laser beam has gone wrong, and he wants to try and kill Catman and Kit. Catman survives and sends him to the only place he also gets trapped, but they also get to the only place he ever will go to, jail. And we head to number 17. The Phantom, there is other people trying to kidnap other people. The Phantom is going to go and rescue them. No, these are the Marshall sisters. They are coming to cause trouble. They are wanting to split up the Phantom and Diana. They are enlisting in two big buffheads, and the Phantom shows him what's up. Okay, Catman and Kit, we've got another person wanting to deal out justice. Crime wave in Chief City. There's this guy who is just wanting to try and get his own way. The Catman and Kits don't really like it, and they, of course, who would have thought, they send him to jail. But as you'll be going into Catcraft, but as our prisoners, Catman and Kit? Yeah, Catman and Kit. SuperYank Comics, it's a Jungle Olympics. So we have the Super Jungle Olympics. The Jungle Olympics is started. The Phantom is going to take part after we claim our winner. They are going through the different games. Have you actually seen, there's actually right now, they had the Winter Olympics on, and they had the people who aren't faced with a lot of challenge. Well, you could say that they are faced with a bit of challenges in training and going there. But yeah, that was really, really cool. I did watch it. I watched the Winter Olympics, and I also watched mostly the ice hockey, some of the snowboarding stuff, and some of the ski cross country stuff. And yeah, it's quite interesting. And at the moment, they've got the Paralympics for the Winter Olympics starting right now in Milano Cortina, if you didn't already know. So Catman and Kit, we've got the Rat and the Crook. And the Crooked Cats are teaming up. They're wanting to get rid of. They end up escaping. The Cat Crook is still at large. They end up putting a plan to get rid of the Catman statue, because the statue has been completed. They heave it away and they fall out, and it falls down. And all those people, all the Cat Crook and the Rat, end up in jail. Okay, I've got to read this because this is one of the funniest ads I have ever seen. New and wonderful milk chocolate coated raspberry nougat bar. Today's best value. Bingo is a big, chewy nougat bar with the freshest strawberry flavor you've ever tasted. Now, there's one thing I didn't actually know, that, like with the old gold chocolates, I didn't actually know that they were made by someone else and then they were purchased by Cadbury. Just every time you see it, you just think they're owned by Cadbury. So we have SuperYank Comics number 19. That was out of the bag of. Oh yeah, that was quite unique, Brad. Thanks for that information. So we have the continuation of the Olympics. They end up going through the Olympics. Someone ends up going into the sand and finding some jewels. they end up in jail. Or they could be headed to the tribe. Anyone, really. It's the Phantom Ranger Western outfit in the city's best retail stores. I'm reading this, Jesse. So let's see the special display of the Phantom Ranger Western outfits. Obviously, they're not available anymore. We've got the Planet Man, one of my favorite characters. It's actually I think this is the origin to the Planet Man stories, and we've now got, he's dealing with space pirates. His ship crashes, and they save another person. He goes out to the intergalactic world and becomes the one and only, and becomes the special person called Planet Man. Phantom Comics on sale everywhere, if you didn't already know that. Okay, we've got Peter, what? Peter's? No, we've got Peter's puzzle page. Let's save it. And then, if you didn't already have breakfast, you have Kellogg's cornflakes. I know someone that has custard with them. Comment down below if you have custard with your cornflakes. Or is it just someone I know? Is it common? Is it a potential trend? Maybe not. We have an article that was compiled and expanded from Graham Cliff's From Sunbooms to Sunset, The Rise and Fall of the Australian Comic Book, 1924 to 1965, published by Comic Oz in May 2019. I actually have this massive book. It's a big book. It's a massive book. And yeah, that article is real. That some of the information inside that book, if you ever get a chance to find it, buy it, and have a look through it, it's really, really interesting. It goes through the whole part of all the history of the Australian comics from 1924 to 1965. It goes through the golden years. It goes through the rise and the fall of the Australian golden comic books of those eras. And it's actually, when you actually think about it, it is quite sad that we don't have as many comic books as such that you can purchase in the news agencies. Like, when I started reading The Phantom, there was a lot more that you could buy, obviously. A lot of it was probably just published by few. But apart from the few publications, you also had your 2000 AD, you had your Judge Dredd comics, if you were a fan of those two characters. And then you also had Mad Magazine. Now, if you were one of those type of people that you didn't really go much off Mad Magazine, or you were one of those type of people who really, really loved it, yeah, then that's another genre that obviously people like. And yeah, Mad Magazine, they had some really, really cool stuff in them, and some really, really weird stuff, in my personal opinion. But anyways, that is my comic book review of SuperYank Comics. SuperYank Comics. SuperYank Comics. If you didn't already know, that was my review of SuperYank Comics. God dearie me. Anyways, thank you for watching my comic book review of SuperYank Comics. And as always, keep Phantom Caving, stay safe,